I want to talk to you today about a topic that is deeply personal and important to me, learning not to be dependent on others. This is a lesson that has taken me years to truly understand and internalize, but it has been one of the most transformative realizations of my life. And I believe that if you can grasp this concept and really take it to heart, it has the power to radically change your life for the better as well. You see, from the moment we are born, we are dependent on others. As infants and young children, we rely completely on our parents and caregivers to feed us, clothe us, protect us, and guide us. And that's natural and necessary in those early years. But as we grow older, society conditions us to continue looking outwards for direction, validation, and support. We are taught to follow the paths laid out by our family, friends, teachers, bosses, and cultural norms. There's nothing inherently wrong with receiving help and guidance from others. The problem arises when we start believing that our well-being, success, and happiness lies primarily in the hands of others. We begin basing our self-worth on external approval and achievements. We become terrified to deviate from conventional expectations, even when our heart yearns to follow a different path. We give away our power and autonomy, always looking to others to tell us how to think, feel, and live. Can you relate to this? I certainly can. For so many years, I lived my life based on what I thought others wanted from me. I chose a college major that my parents approved of, even though I didn't enjoy it. I pursued career opportunities that were considered prestigious, even though they left me feeling stressed and unfulfilled. I stayed in relationships and friendships that didn't align with my values because I feared being alone or judged. On the surface, I had achieved many of the trappings of success, the degrees, the job titles, the material possessions. But inside, I felt like I was constantly chasing something outside of myself. I didn't know who I was or what I really wanted. I felt anxious, restless, and incomplete, like I was living someone else's life instead of my own. I realized that as long as I kept outsourcing my sense of self to others, I would never experience true peace, joy, or fulfillment. My friends, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to live this way. You have within yourself everything you need to design a life that lights you up from the inside out. You have unique dreams, passions, and gifts to offer the world that no one else can replicate. You have an inner compass that can guide you toward choices that fuel your growth and align with your deepest truth. But you can only access this wealth of wisdom and power when you decide to stop being dependent on others and start being the leader of your own life. Now, I want to be clear, learning to be independent doesn't mean never accepting help or isolating yourself from loved ones. We are social creatures wired for connection and collaboration. The key is to build relationships based on interdependence rather than codependence. This means engaging with others from a place of wholeness, self-trust, and mutual respect. It means being able to give and receive support in a healthy way without losing yourself in the process. So, what does it look like to practically put this into action? It starts with taking full responsibility for every aspect of your life, your thoughts, emotions, actions, and results. Instead of blaming others or your circumstances when things don't go your way, get curious about how you can grow through the challenges. Cultivate a solutions-focused mindset. Commit to knowing yourself on a deep level. Question the beliefs and behavioral patterns you inherited from your family and culture. Examine whether they are serving you or limiting you. Give yourself permission to experiment, make mistakes, and define your own measures of success and fulfillment. Become an expert on your own inner world. Practice tuning into the quiet voice of your intuition. Notice what makes you come alive and what drains your energy. Honor your needs and boundaries fiercely. Treat yourself with the same kindness and respect you would extend to someone you love. As you develop a loving, trusting relationship with yourself, you'll find that your relationships with others naturally transform as well. You'll no longer tolerate mistreatment or settle for less than you deserve. You'll attract people who value and support your authentic self. Along the journey of reclaiming your independence, you'll likely experience some resistance and backlash from those who feel threatened by your growth. Remember that this is usually more about them than it is about you. Have compassion for their fears, but don't let it stop you from shining your light. The more you're willing to stand tall in your truth, the more you give others permission to do the same. As you learn to trust and depend on yourself, you tap into an infinite source of resilience, creativity, and personal power. You free yourself from the chains of perfectionism, people-pleasing, and playing small. You gain the courage to take bold risks and go after your wildest dreams. You stop waiting for someone else to save you or complete you, and realize that you are already whole. My friends, this path of inner liberation is not an easy one. It takes immense bravery to unlearn lifelong patterns of seeking external validation. It can be terrifying to walk into the unknown without the crutch of others' opinions and expectations. There will be times when you stumble and fall back into old ways of being. Be gentle with yourself in those moments. Reconnect with your why and recommit to your independence practice. As you continue learning to be the sovereign ruler of your inner kingdom, you will face many tests and initiations. Life will present you with situations that trigger your deepest fears and insecurities. Relationships and circumstances that you once relied on may fall away. You may endure periods of loneliness, confusion, and doubt, but I promise you that on the other side of these trials is a version of yourself and your life beyond your wildest imagination. Because what you're really doing is awakening to the truth of who you are, an infinite being capable of creating and becoming anything you desire. Can you feel the power and potential of this realization? That your happiness, success, love, and freedom are an inside job that no external condition can ever take away from you. That you don't need to earn anything or prove yourself to anyone in order to be worthy of your dreams. That you are the only one who gets to define what makes your soul come alive. Let this knowing wash over you and light a fire in your belly. From this moment forward, decide to embody radical personal responsibility. Vow to become so full, grounded, and in love with yourself that nothing outside of you can destabilize your center. Commit to healing the parts of you that have felt unworthy, broken, or dependent on others. Surround yourself with people, experiences, and environments that inspire you to step into your most empowered self. Have the courage to pave your own path, even if it looks nothing like what you thought it would. This journey of untethering yourself from the good opinions of others is one of the greatest adventures you can embark on. Yes, it requires you to confront your shadow and grow in ways that can feel uncomfortable, but it's so worth it. Because what you're really doing is reuniting with your most authentic, joyful, and free self. You're learning to source your validation, direction, and unconditional love from within. You're empowering yourself to craft a reality beyond your wildest dreams. My friends, this is your one and only life. You get to choose how you live it. Will you continue outsourcing your truth to others, or will you rise into the role of being the author of your own extraordinary story? Will you keep playing it safe and settling for crumbs, or will you bet on yourself and go all in on your soul's desires? Will you waste your energy chasing external approval and acceptance, or will you ground into the unshakable knowing that you are already enough? If my words resonate with you, let this be your invitation to begin choosing independence over dependence today and every day. Start small. Tune into your own wants and needs. Honor your no and speak your yes. Take one action that scares you and expands your self-trust. Celebrate every courageous step forward. And know that with each choice to be true to yourself, you heal a piece of your past and become the hero of your future. You send a ripple of empowerment out into the world and give others permission to rise into their greatness. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Remember that learning not to be dependent on others is a lifelong practice. There is no destination or perfection to strive for. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you detach from old conditioning and identities. Surround yourself with people who get it and can offer loving feedback and encouragement. Lastly, know that the greatest gift you can give the world is embracing and embodying the fullness of who you are. Your uniqueness, your passions, your story, and your voice matter. The more you're willing to unhook from others' expectations and follow the wisdom of your own soul, the more your life transforms into a masterpiece and a gift to all. So, my friends, what will you do with this one precious life of yours? How will you honor the calling of your independence today? Let the answers come from deep within you, and trust that life will rise up to meet you at every step of the journey. You are so brave, so brilliant, and so worthy. Always remember that, and never stop fighting for your right to live life on your own terms. The world needs more liberated souls like you. In closing, I invite you to place your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I am the only authority on my happiness and worth. I trust the wisdom of my soul to guide me. I love and accept all parts of myself unconditionally. I am willing to disappoint others in order to be true to myself. I give myself full permission to want what I want and create what I crave. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough exactly as I am. Breathe that in. Feel those words vibrating in every cell of your being. Commit those intentions to memory and return to them often. What a gift and honor it is to witness you stepping into your power and independence. You are an inspiration, and I am so grateful our paths have crossed. Here's to continuing on the journey of untethering, together and apart. The best is yet to come. Believe that. Thank you for the opportunity to continue exploring this transformative topic with you. Learning not to be dependent on others is a journey that touches every aspect of our lives, our relationships, careers, self-expression, and overall well-being. It's a process of unbecoming who we thought we needed to be in order to fit in or be loved, and remembering the truth of who we really are: infinite, worthy, and whole. As we dive deeper into this conversation, I want to share more insights and stories from my own path of untethering from external validation and expectations. My hope is that by vulnerably offering pieces of my journey, it will inspire and empower you to trust yourself more deeply and take bold action towards your own independence. One of the most profound lessons I've learned is that the degree to which we depend on others for our sense of self worth is the degree to which we abandon ourselves. Every time we contort ourselves to please others or stifle our truth to avoid rocking the boat, we betray our soul's deepest desires and wisdom. We send ourselves the subconscious message that who we are is not enough, that our needs and boundaries are not valid. I spent years living from this place of self abandonment and external seeking. I was the quintessential chameleon, morphing myself to fit whatever mold I thought would win me love, approval, and belonging. In relationships, I became whoever my partners wanted me to be, even if it meant compromising my values or silencing my voice. In my career, I chased achievements and job titles that sounded impressive, even though they left me feeling depleted and disconnected from my purpose. On the outside, I had crafted an image of success and likability, but on the inside, I felt like a fraud, insecure, anxious, and perpetually afraid of being found out. I had become so dependent on others to define my worth that I had no idea who I was or what I actually wanted. My needs, opinions, and desires changed based on who I was with and what I thought they expected of me. I was living a half life, terrified to shine fully or take up space. Can you relate? Perhaps you've also spent years shape shifting and shrinking to fit into boxes too small for your spirit. Maybe you've gotten so used to wearing masks that you barely recognize the face underneath. You're exhausted from always chasing gold stars and worrying what people think. You crave the freedom to just be yourself, raw, real, and unapologetically alive. If this resonates, please know that you're not alone and there's nothing wrong with you. We live in a culture that conditions us to believe our worthiness comes from external markers, our relationship status, job title, income bracket, weight, social media following. From a young age, we're taught to chase validation and acceptance at the cost of our authenticity. We internalize the message that who we are is not inherently enough. But here's the liberating truth: you are not broken, and you do not need to be fixed. Your worth is not something you have to earn or prove. It's your birthright. It's the essence of who you are. No external circumstance or person can ever add to or take away from your value. The more you're willing to unhook from the lie that your enoughness lies outside of you, the more you open up to the abundant love, peace, and fulfillment that is your true nature. Learning to source your validation and acceptance from within is a radical act of self-reclamation. It's a daily practice of choosing your inner knowing over others' projections, trusting your intuition even if it goes against the grain, honoring your needs and desires without guilt or apology, having the courage to unbecome all the versions of yourself you've created to feel safe and claimed. This journey invites you to peel back the layers of who you thought you had to be to survive and rediscover the truth of who you've been all along, the luminous, limitless being that dances to the beat of its own wild rhythm, the sacred storyteller, visionary, and creator, the part of you that has never been tamed by shame, unworthiness, or fear, the untouched, eternal essence of your soul. Reconnecting with this authentic self is the key to falling in love with your life and relationship to the world. When you build a foundation of unshakable self-knowing, self-trust, and self-compassion, everything else begins to align. You make choices that honor your deepest integrity and lead you toward your true north. You attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences that mirror your inner abundance. You give yourself permission to take up space, speak your truth, and shine your light fully. But this path of deep inner reparenting and untethering is not for the faint of heart, my friends. It will require you to confront your shadows, triggers, and deepest fears, to feel the full spectrum of your emotions without spiritually bypassing or numbing out, to learn how to hold space for your own pain and darkness with tender compassion, to grieve the versions of yourself and your life you're leaving behind as you step into the unknown. There will be moments where your whole identity quakes and crumbles, where everything you've clung to for safety and stability falls away and you're left naked and trembling in the rubble. Your job, your relationship, your community gone in an instant. This is the initiatory fire of transformation, the crucible in which you must surrender who you've been in order to become who you're meant to be. In those threshold moments where it feels like you're dying, I invite you to breathe into the dissolution, to trust the intelligence of your soul and the wisdom of your unfolding, to allow yourself to fully feel the groundlessness and uncertainty, knowing it is the gateway to your deepest liberation. What feels like an ending is actually a sacred beginning, a potent portal into rebirth and remembrance. As you fumble your way through the darkness, know that you are being guided and held every step of the way, even if you can't see it. Your struggle and discomfort are not in vain. They are the very catalysts ushering you into a life beyond your wildest imagination, a life where you overflow with love, wholeness, and belonging from the inside out. Keep going, even when you're terrified. Keep showing up even when you can barely get out of bed. Keep choosing yourself even when your mind screams that you're not ready or worthy. With every small act of self loyalty and bold leap into the unknown, you reclaim sovereignty over your life. You begin to dismantle the false foundations you've built your identity and worth upon. Slowly but surely, you remember how to validate, trust, and accept yourself in all your messy, complex humanity. How to belong to yourself so completely that you become unshakable, untouchable, whole. From this empowered place of embodied independence, life becomes a wild dance and grand adventure. You're no longer seduced by shiny objects or accolades. You're not tempted to betray yourself in order to fit in or people please. You don't waste your precious energy worrying about others' judgments or trying to control outcomes. Instead, you root deeply into your own center and truth and allow life to surprise and delight you. You start taking bold, aligned action towards your dreams, even if you don't have all the answers. You experiment and play, trusting that your joy is the very fuel propelling you forward. You learn how to be present and savor the beauty in every ordinary moment. When challenges and losses arise, you alchemize the pain into wisdom and creative rebirth. You choose gratitude and wonder, even when your mind defaults to lack and fear. This journey of unhooking from dependence and claiming true inner freedom is the task of a lifetime. We are never finished learning, healing, and growing. But I promise you that the more you practice loving and showing up for yourself, the more life rises up to meet you with staggering synchronicity and grace. So dare to believe in your own resilience and brilliance. Have the courage to want what you want and go after it with all you've got. Surround yourself with people and experiences that inflame your magic and potential. Put your need for self actualization and soul nourishment at the center of your world. Remember, again and again, that your worth and belonging can never be earned or revoked, only remembered and returned to. As this chapter of our journey comes to a close, I bow to the love and strength in you that led you to these words. You are so unspeakably brave for saying yes to the call of your own becoming, for being willing to unravel all you've known in order to create space for what yearns to be born. Never doubt that your life and liberation matter. Your staggering perseverance and heart make more of a difference than you will ever know. My prayer for you is that you never stop fighting for your right to take up space and tell your story, that you eternally devote yourself to your own healing, growth, and happiness, that you learn how to love the one you're with so completely that you want for nothing, that you become so anchored in your own wild beauty and sufficiency that you motivate others to do the same, that you stay forever curious, humble, and open to life's endlessly unfolding invitations to transform. Let us make a vow in this moment to keep choosing the path of independence and inner freedom. To notice where we're still waiting for permission, chasing after validation, or outsourcing our power and gently call ourselves home. To celebrate every baby step outside our comfort zone and act of alignment with our truth. To have faith in the staggering intelligence of the universe and our own souls to guide us forward. To trust that everything we need to craft lives we love is already within us. Thank you for walking this winding road of unbecoming and remembering with me today. You are a miracle, and your presence on this planet is a gift. No matter where you find yourself on the spectrum of dependence to sovereignty, please know that you are right on time. Keep showing up, keep surrendering, keep saying yes to the mystery and magic of all that you are. I am forever holding space for your unfolding. This is not the end of our journey, but merely the beginning of an ever-deepening adventure. May you continue to courageously choose yourself and your soul's freedom. May you eternally honor the wise, wild, and untamable knowing inside of you. And may you emerge each day committed to your own liberation and leadership. The world is waiting for your unbridled brilliance. All my love.